Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. It is 12:49 in the PM, Pacific Time, December 22nd, 2024. I'm just hanging out. And we're going to do a little conquest today. I say a little conquest. I do not know my stamina right now for like the entire kit and caboodle, as they say. But we're going to get after it. And we're going to get after it with the list that is actually not what you currently see on the screen, but rather an Orisham Doom 99 list that I am particularly fond of. One moment. So yeah, without further ado, let's get after it. I think right now, yeah, I am currently doing, finishing up a Silver Conquest. I have trillions of gold tickets that I need to burn through, but we'll just burn through this silver one here real quick. Thanks, Matt. I'll type this out. Appreciate you hanging out at the expense of real-life social things with loved ones. Yes, we do, folks. All right. As I said, this is a little experimental. I really do not know how good or not good this list is kind of in the meta writ large, but it's a lot of fun. I really am enjoying Doom 2099 in a way that I really did not think I would. And can never say no to Orisham. My opponent, I think, also maybe running Orisham? Yeah. Red Skull's a pretty good Space Throne card. We'll see. I don't... Unless this is a Hobgoblin coming out.
Wind, aid my hand.
Do not know if I am slick enough for Titania. Using Titania in this situation is often very, very, very challenging. Now, a Galacted up Red Skull might be enough to clinch the day, but that is a main deck storm, which makes me a little fearful of Iron War Machine coming out and kind of checkmating me. But I am going to snap here. Okay, great. Great! Not the best hand. What's that going to be? Domino. So my opponent... I don't know if that is a... guessing that... It's actually impossible to know until I know their Orisham split situation. If this is a main deck Domino and they're running some kind of... Oh, do I snap on this? I think I just snap. So, the beauty of running Doom 2099 in an Orisham list is if you pick it up, you can play it on turn 3, which lets you get some real momentum going. And if my opponent is running some kind of lockdown situation, which I suspect that they are, Doom 2099 ultimately doesn't care that much. My opponent snapping back. I don't know what that means. Maybe this is their own Doom 2099. Yep. Would have liked that Lady Deathstrike. So I could try... There's a couple lines here. Can get the traditional standard line, most kind of normal power is get Galactodown. Excuse me, get Galactodown and grow cards that way. But actually, I think, kind of running this out, the tricky line is to put Legion on Our Lady of Saints in attempt to symbiote his Doom stuff and dramatically reducing his power. Thing is, A, I'm vulnerable to that if my Hotel Inferno, or my mid fills up. And B, I can actually do that later. So I'm going to do this with the understanding that maybe I want to Legion Our Lady of Saints later, but I also might not want to do that. We'll see. So ideally we want his bots to be going right and my bots to be going not mid. We'll see how that goes. That's a really good card. That's a really good card. I don't think that my opponent runs Shang-Chi. And if they got Shang-Chi, then I'm in a bit of a pickle. Doom 29, it's real hard to know, you know, who's ahead with what and all that jazz. So, oh, that's wonderful. I got lucky-ish there. My opponent, we both started off lucky, and I kind of continued to get lucky. My drawing my Dr. Doom put him on the back foot in a way that wasn't ultimately fair. I got Doom again. Give it a second. I don't want to snap and give it away completely. Flugan, hello again. We're doing some Arisham Doom 2099 Conquest this Christmas season. A Merry Christmas season to you and yours. Are you in New York presently? Back in Florida? Alloy 202, glad to see you again. Yeah, Florida's probably a pretty good weather place to be right now. What did Copycat become? Toxin. That's not terribly useful. I'm going to hold on to the Ghost Spider. With the new Arisham, I really do not have a sense of... Oh, that sucks. That sucks for both of us. I really don't have a sense of... particularly with the Doom 2099, if you want to be running out very unimpressive 1 and 2 drops on 1 and 2, or if you want to save the board space because you have the flexibility to do it later. I don't have my feet underneath me there. And again, I don't even know if this deck is any good. I'm enjoying the hell out of it, but that doesn't mean it's good. So my opponent broadly ahead of me here. I wouldn't say that like I'm automatically leaving to a snap or anything, but I'm considering leaving to a snap. Why Arisham? I always felt like it should be its own game mode on Snap, not a regular card. Oh, I was going to say that's real sweet for killing the Angela, but of course I didn't kill the Angela. Very simple answer. 1 second here. Let me. Yeah, I don't love. That's an awkward Shuri, and I actually don't have anything to grow terribly big here. I play a lot of Marvel Snap. More than most. And when I play a quote-unquote normal deck, I find it very boring. And I don't mean to say immediately boring. Yeah, I'm just cooked here. Like, I can play Doom and go pretty wide, but unless my opponent does almost nothing, I lose to most things. Just kind of playing this out. I can get... No, I can't. I can't even. Can't even. So anyway, I play a standard list, and it's the same. It's the same every game. You know, I never was a Surfer guy, but like, play out your 3s, Saron 5, Surfer, and just you draw what you want or don't what you want, and you can play a little bit reactive and stuff. With Arishem, every game is an adventure. When you're ahead with luck, Agatha. I'm just getting done to tell you why I like Arishem, and then you start with Agatha in your hand, and I'm done. I quit. I quit this match. So with Arishem, it requires a lot of knowledge of the meta and kind of what the opponent is going to do, and you can weaponize your extra mana, hopefully effectively, to get ahead, and just to have every game be super duper interesting, dynamic, and unique in a way that is that a main deck? No, that is probably an Arishem one of those. I'll hold this. And so I never get tired of Arishem, and broadly, on average, certainly more before the patch than now, it always felt pretty strong. And last but not least, I am almost exclusively a Conquest player. And, well, that's amusingly backwards. All right, we snap there. I don't know. I'm reluctant to snap. My opponent plays both Doom and Doom. And both of those beat me in Altar of Death. And also they could play something on Aunt May's and get bigger. We're going to do this and chill. Anyway, in Conquest, whenever you... Now, let's snap. Whenever you are matched against an opponent, you have to beat them. You don't have to beat them in one game or 2 games, but you ultimately have to beat them. And a lot of main decks, or should say meta decks, normal meta decks, can find themselves in a bit of a rock, paper, scissors situation, where if you are running I don't know, Zoo, for one example, and you match against a Destroyer player that has Killmonger, you're gonna lose. Like, you could get super lucky, but like, you're so unfavored. And that feels so horrible. I just hate that. Oh, so we're playing for all the marbles here. Like that going right. With Arishem, unless you run into an opponent that is running exactly... do I want to run Alliance here? I think I do want to run Alliance here. Yes! Get out of my game! Unless you are running into exactly... I can't even play over there. Alright, so do I want to... Whoops. Is this the play? Or am I already so far ahead? I guess he's most likely to play a giant card mid and winning... Sorry, giant card left. And winning mid by a bit doesn't really do much. $18-13. Yeah, I think that this is the most winningest play. I think we probably win tiebreaker here. So, I'll complete the thought. Sorry, Flugan, for making this sentence or paragraph last 10 minutes. When you play Arishem, unless you run against a Darkhawk Cassandra Nova list, you really do not have a straight-up checkmate opponent. Every single meta deck can be defeated by a skilled Arishem player doubling down when they get lucky and running away when they get unlucky in a way that I'm very comfortable with and feels very good, as opposed to getting checkmated in Conquest. So, all of this said, I do play non-Arishem sometimes, but I play a lot of Arishem for those reasons. And Double Neg, you know, I don't have a good... I'm not... excuse me. I'm not much of a comics reader. I actually, when I was a teenager, or tweenager, I had some Spider-Man 2099 comics, but I really do not know what's going on with Doom 2099, other than I really enjoyed the card. Anyway, that is another... Oh, yeah, we're upgrading Doom 2099. I want to get it all yassified. How are you guys doing? What's everybody up to this holiday season? Well, holiday season broadly, or today specifically. Anybody doing anything particularly cool or exciting, other than watching some of the best Conquest you'll ever see? Freezing, yeah, I can only imagine. Was it Brockton? I don't remember what part of the Boston area you are, but I'm sure they're all equally nightmarishly cold. 28 gold tickets, folks. That's going to be a lot to burn through. I'm not going to get through all those. But here we go. Let's begin, shall we? As for me, after this stream, later tonight, I'm probably gonna. I haven't streamed it, but I'm gonna be doing some Marvel Rivals. I've been doing a lot of Marvel Rivals. Is kind of my primary non-snap game, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. Oh yeah, to starting with Flugen's point into Alloy's like Arishem as a game mode. I believe that we are going to see a proverbial draft mode in Snap. My opponent's got a pretty sick avatar and high collection level, which is to say there probably will come something like an Arishem game mode, and I'll be all over it. It'll probably be sick as hell. But until that happens, we just do this. My opponent's Iron Lad. I lose Mockingbird, not great. So I guess my opponent is running a pretty standard Doom 2099 list, which I don't think runs any kind of location control. All right, that hurts me more than him. Fine. And I'm going to draw Hazmat. So what is that? What is that? Alioth. Okay. I do not have Alioth. It's at the bottom of my deck. I don't really want to snap here. I'd like to hold the Death Strike because he might very well have Doom 2099. I guess maybe this is the play. Like, Hazmat isn't, like, honestly negative power. But if I do this, then my own Lady Deathstrike cooks me. I don't know. This is a tough... So, that snap makes me think that he's got Doom 2099, and it's coming. And then Lady Deathstrike is incredible. But that said, so I'm not going to quit. I'm going to put this here. If he plays Doom... What? Okay, I was going to say, if he plays Doom 2099 left, and it makes a Doombot mid, I actually can't Arishem this. Or, sorry, can't Lady Deathstrike it, and I want to Lady Deathstrike it. I need to Lady Deathstrike it. You can Lady Deathstrike it now, which is great. That's weird that he didn't play it left. The thing is, that actually doesn't add a ton of ultimate power. Like, is this better? I think ultimately this might be better. So here's what we're going to do, folks. Because... Oh, you know, he actually might have Alioth. He has his own Alioth. If he has his own Alioth, do I even care that much? I don't know. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to snap back. Might lose 8 cubes to Alioth right now. And that's fine. The thing is, I want to kind of get through these 28 tickets, and the way that you do that is taking risks like this at the beginning. If this was the third gold match and like the final thing, I'm not going to mess with it. But I'm expecting... Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense. So, I guess I'm glad that I didn't play the Death Strike right, because it actually wouldn't have killed the Doom 2099. I should have seen that coming, so another Super Scroll. Good to know that my opponent has Super Scroll. What is the most power here? So this... This? And a single Doom 2099. This is tough. A regular Doom cooks me. I think. Let's think about this. I have the ability to... What you should do, by the way, Brittany, in these situations, is try and go tall in 2 lanes rather than try and contest all 3 with Doom 2099. And I don't know if I can get tall enough to beat a regular Doom. So that's... Yeah, I'm going to retreat. There's an argument to staying. I kind of thought that I would either go the whole distance with 8 cubes, but that was a weird edge case where it's like I'm probably going to lose and get out for 4. But in most permutations, I wouldn't have done that. I would have either left for 2 or stayed for the whole 8 and what is it? Let it ride. So my opponent did not snap at all. The earlier match, they have this match, and I assume that means a Doom, and I can't beat that. Now, tragically, we know that my opponent has Super Scroll, which is very good in the mirror, and this isn't quite a mirror, but that really reduces the efficacy of my own Doom 2099. But that said, I am not too despondent over my odds because I've got Lady Deathstrike and the extra mana and the ability to get around some of these things. Critically, I think a Doom 29... that hurts me a lot more than it hurts him. He's probably going to snap on that. Yep. I don't have a good hand, so I'm out of here. Most Doom 2099 lists that I have seen, certainly not all of them, but most of them are extremely narrow. Plays like a combo deck where if you draw your combo, great, and if you don't, you lose. And you can exploit that as an opponent.
What are the odds?
So my opponent hasn't snapped. Zabu Psylocke is an incredibly powerful opener for his deck, which makes me think that he does not have Doom 2099. If a snap comes now, I think that means that he drew it. So that, if he doesn't snap now, means he doesn't have Doom 2099. And with Isle of Silence and my ability to play a card here right now, I think I'm ahead. And I'm already behind on cubes, so I'm going to go ahead and do this. I think we're going to play for all the marbles. It's unlikely that I'm going to snap here, retreat later, and then try and beat him 5 times. That's not what 28 gold tickets is about. So the reason that they didn't snap is because they're not too thrilled about Isle of Silence. And I also have the ability to, what is that? Pull, oh, but of course, I could just Legion Isle of Silence. I really wasn't thinking. So that's the play. I'm going to Legion Isle of Silence, and he's going to be absolutely decimated. The thing is, I would love to do that, and get all 4 cubes. If I do that right now, he will leave, and I only get 2 cubes. So I'm going to Giganto next turn, Legion the final turn. And actually, hang on. There is an argument. Yeah, I can just fill him up here, and I think I just win that lane. I'm going to do this. Because I'm going to Legion right, that means like there's going to be power on the right, so maybe I just want to do this. And try not to contest, not contest right.
We are the future.
Ah, should have thought of that. But that said, I still don't think that he can get bigger than... Yeah, I think I gotta do this. This is simply too much power. There's an argument to try and get cute and get over the top right. But, and I think this is a little bit more quote-unquote predictable. But I think this is the highest chance of winning against kind of your average play. Alrighty. We got there circuitously, but we got there. That said, I'm surprised he wouldn't have snapped himself, knowing that he had the Doom 2099 Legion line. I'm snapping if I'm him there. I don't know. Maybe he just drew into that stuff. Regardless, we're still a little unfavored. Particularly given the fact that he is Super Skrull. And so I'm not going to play Black Knight. I talked about this earlier. Board space is going to be an issue. I'm going to snap here. So you don't want to fill it up with crap like Black Knight. And where we're at, with how this game is going to play out, assuming that my opponent stays, is I'm going to play Doom 2099. It's ultimately going to come down to if he also has Doom 2099 and Super Skrull. And if he does, I lose. But if he doesn't, I think we're broadly pretty good. We'll do this. I like stealing his cards twice. What is that? Crystal. Okay, sure. Looking at my list, what does Iron Lad screw me up the most? I'm gonna play Iron Lad. And it could be anything with Origin, of course. And the only thing we really don't want to see is Lady Deathstrike, and even that is, like, not devastating. It could be anything, hey, Disgusted Hen 85, good to see you. It very well could turn into something in my Origin deck that just ruins me, but we'll see how it goes. I guess we don't want to see Red Guardian. Is that a deck card that he will run? If he runs Red Guardian and Super Skrull, that's going to be quite the... Okay. It's quite the tech happening. Alright, so I got his Doctor Doom. If he has Super Skrull, I think we get cooked. But I'm in a pretty commanding position against your average deck in terms of power that I'm about to put up. Super Skrull? Super Skrull? Yes! Yes! Give me those 4 cubes. Hey, Cybates! Good to see you. We're just getting lucky. I should clarify. I am playing out of my mind. I have made incredibly sick plays every step of the way here. I am a god among men, who's to say? However, I'm also getting quite lucky. Like, that's an important component to success with Orisham. Is, doesn't matter how good you are, you need to get lucky. And doesn't matter, frankly, how bad you are, if you get crazy lucky, it can even overcome that. So, this is, it looks like a masterclass, and in some ways it is, but it's also Nate getting a little lucky here. Cybates, are you one of the, Marvel Snap people? Or, how do you find? No, sorry, that's probably not true because you've chatted here before. My apologies, I'm all over the place. So for clarity, I played, oh, you found me through Binks. To clarify, you found me through Binks, you're not a secret account of Binks. Is that true? Yeah, thank you, Double Money. Yes, I agree, Alloy. I might have gotten there in the end, because that was going to be so much power. But I would just as soon not find out. It's much easier to... Okay, so I'm not going to get Deathstrike. What do we want to do here? I think the most likely thing is my opponent is going to play right, so we'll do Gamora there. And if this is Doom 2099, we'll just try and get super tall. Ah. Galacta. Fine. I was gonna say, do we snap here? But we're playing for all the cubes, so I don't need to get too cute with it. I like Dr. Doom. Gives me a lot of options next turn. Something happened. Has somebody followed me? I don't know what that beat meant. Yes, Foul Deception followed me. Thank you, Foul Deception. I appreciate that. I'm not a good enough streamer, and I'm too boomer-pilled to know exactly what a lot of these things mean with the beeps and the boops. But I appreciate that. Alright, so I have priority, which makes Valkyrie's value not amazing. I'm a little scared of that vision. I'm imagining it's going to go middle. I know I can customize it. The problem is my layout. Like, I don't have the full setup. I have to Alt-Tab. All I'm looking at right now is Marvel Snap and a little chat window. Professional streamers have a bunch of shit all over the place where they can see what's happening. That is a good point. 1 second. Let me focus on this. So, like, I could just try and get, like, I think I have to get lucky with something surviving Danger Room. Because I imagine Vision is going to go middle. And then maybe Red Skull's actually overkill there. I think we do... Oh, yeah, actually... No, I still need some power middle. I think we do this. And hope that things survive. Huh. Live? Will you live? Oh, it lived! Is it going to be enough? He just played it. It is a giant card. I think that's enough, folks. Yes. Havoc plus Valk might be good. Yes, there's a lot of very good play. I should say there's a lot of acceptable plays there. That any number of them would have been fine. Mine ultimately worked. But there was not a ton of, oh, this is the right play for surgical, whatever. I did not expect Vision right. And actually, playing Doom mid... I didn't like my opponent's play. It doesn't beat a lot of things. If I played anything left, I was definitely going to have a Scarlet Spider right. Sorry, Scarlet Spider mid, which would have put me at 10 power for free. And even if Doom lived, he loses that lane. So I think my opponent either panicked or gave up, or was just trying to be too cute by half. In any case, better lucky than good. Anyway, where was that with talking about Cybates being a Marvel Rivals person? First of all, thank you for coming over from the Binks thing and continuing to hang out. Last night, I was playing some Marvel Rivals, and the way... yeah, I like a, what is it? That's a good point. That's a great point, even. He was going to play the Doom either left or mid. But that said, like, it still loses. Like, that's probably why he did it, but it still loses. So anyway, Marvel Rivals, for those of you who do not know, it's team shooter. It's basically Overwatch 3.0. And it's 6-on-6. And you can solo queue and play with 5 strangers against 6 strangers. I hate that. I hate that. I hate that. Binks does it like a madman. I don't know where he finds the cojones, but I hate that. I really don't do it if I can avoid it. And, oh, so my opponent has the Herald of Galactus title, which means he's legitimate. Anyway, last night I hooked up, over Discord, you can kind of do some matchmaking stuff. And I connected with these other 5 guys, and we formed a team. And we went 8-1 in competitive, which was just bonkers. Just truly bonkers. And I invited them to follow me on Twitch as I do. So, my opponent running some kind of move situation. This is not Arisham, that is a main deck Kingpin. Couple things here. I really like... Oh, given that there's a miniaturized lab, that really hurts him more than me. And the fact that I do 29. So the thing is, with move, he can, depending on the list, move can get super tall in lanes that they want to get super tall in. Which counters, oh, that hurts probably me. Which counters, Doom 2099 a fair bit, because Doom 2099 kind of gets pretty strong in, yeah, that's fine, in a couple of lanes. Sorry, in all the lanes, but, like, not crazy tall in, do I have priority? I do have priority. So I'm guessing that I have to get rid of Fist Tower right now. I'm guessing that this is some kind of Stegron or Spider-Man. And I don't want Fist Tower to exist. Okay, don't love that. And there's Stegron. And actually, now that we have a bunch of Autos Lab, even though they got it, Magneto, my cards are pretty big and beefy, and his probably are not. I don't like that filled, but whatever. So the couple lines here are Alioth, Doom. What is he most likely to do? What is a move deck doing here? I kind of like Doom now so I can Alioth last turn to really lock it up. But the issue here is if I Doom and it makes a Doombot right and he plays right, then Auto's Lab is full and I'm in an awkward position. But I'm going to do it because I want to be able to Alioth last turn. And we just hope that the Doombot, the Doom 2099 bot is created in the left lane, or he moves me around or something. Okay, great. Love to be moved around. Captain Marvel, great hit there. Now this is a little bit awkward. I don't, because if the Doom bot is created left, I actually am not tall enough. I'm only going to 17 on the right lane. But I don't think there's any other line. Like, I just have to do this. And if he can get bigger than me, middle, and the Doombot goes left, I just lose. But again, we have so many gold tickets. The point of this is just to get through them, and I love putting all these cubes on the line right now. I don't know what beats me, but I gotta make him have it.
Power must be controlled.
So now we need a Doombot to be on the right lane. Yep. Better lucky than good. Actually, a Doombot in mid would have done it too. Would that maybe even a Doombot left would have done it, because then Marvel would have gone over. I think I just automatically won there. Huh. I love this deck, man. This deck is awesome. And we're able to really kneecap moves goodness. It's a sweet deck. It really is. I think I just copied this directly from a KM Best thing, and I maybe made a change. I don't remember if I made a change. And notably, a couple of these things in this list are, I would say, meta-specific. You would not run Lady Deathstrike in this list unless it was also Doom 2099 week and you just wanted to beat all the other Doom 2099s. And you can get it out on turn 4, which kills their Doom 2099 before it gets too big. I think I snap here. I'm going to get a free snap at one of these things, because if I end up losing this, it's still low stakes and I could get out for free, but with my ability to abuse Comertage a little bit, I think we're okay. There's a real argument to me not snapping here, but I just kind of like it broadly. Lady Deathstrike is powerful. I don't like my opponent staying here. I do it. I'm a big hypocrite in this area, but I like whenever my opponents go down 8 cubes for them to just leave. Not grind it out in a big sweat fest. So do I want to do a Scar or mess it up with, or get saucy with Iron Lad? I was really hoping that I could actually Lady Deathstrike Kraven, but that ain't gonna happen. I guess we just do this. Let it ride. And there's any number of things that beat me here. Ah, Camertage Yellow Jacket. Beautiful. Love to see it. So, I can Death Strike the Scream and kill it, but that is incumbent on, nothing getting moved this turn, and that seems unlikely. It seems like most of his plays are going to be like a Spider-Man left or some kind of thing. So I'm in a pretty bad spot, but what can you do? I think that this is just the best play. Yeah, it was, wasn't it? I think maybe this just to... No, because he might move stuff there. So actually, I don't want to play Yellow Jacket without priority. I think we just do this as a naked 7 drop in the hopes that somehow he doesn't move a card now, but he's probably going to move a card now. Yeah. It's funny. Oh, it moved back. I was going to say there was a permutation there where I kill my own Valentina and actually save myself some energy, but it is what it is. Let's see. I think we just play Alioth for like I'm not going to have priority next turn, so Alioth is, I think, just the most power. I can't imagine that I win this game. There's not a lot of permutations here that work. So yeah, he's got Magneto in his deck. He's got Miles Morales, Spider-Man. I guess because I was gonna just leave for leaving's sake. Maybe. You know, there's a path. Is it likely? No, but there's a path. I certainly wouldn't have stayed here if we were not already playing for all of the marbles, but, you know. What if that could be Doctor Doom? Would that even be enough? Yeah, actually, Doctor Doom would have worked there, because it would have gotten us to 19 middle. That's funny. That actually was not a small possibility of that happening. That would have been amazing. That would have been clip-worthy. Anyway. There is a world where I lose out here. My opponent got the Herald of Galactus title, which required getting Infinite very early in the game, and when it was harder and earlier. And this is I would say, broadly unfavored matchup for me. Move can do very creative things with clogging that prevents the Doom 2099 line from winning. And that said, I think I'm so bad at keeping track of this. A quote-unquote free retreat right now, where if things are looking particularly dire, I can retreat and it doesn't actually change the calculus of the match. And my hand looks pretty doo-doo right now, so I very well might avail myself of that free retreat. Oh, going back to the strength of this list, Killmonger, in main deck Killmonger, is another, Blob's pretty good. Main deck Killmonger is another, meta-specific choice. So this is tough. You want to play, you know, the cards in the big house that you can play in the big house, but a Gladiator here opens myself up to a Magneto dumpstering it on Fisk Tower in the last turn. I think I just have to do this because I have no other way to win the big house. I think that it's correct for my opponent to snap here, and they have not done that. Actually, wait, do I have 5 mana? There is an argument to Ravonna Namor if I could do both of those plays. So the thing here, he's got, you know, 5 cards in his hand to mess with me. I'm not unstrong. Having Mockingbird this turn, into Blob next turn, into other things, like that's a powerful line, but I don't know if I want to take my free retreat here. Or if that's just too cowardly. I think I'm going to retreat here just because Fisk Tower can be utilized with other, like, not just Magneto. I can just get cooked by a lot of different things. So I'm going to retreat here. My free, quote-unquote, free retreat. And, yeah, to your point, if that was not Fisk Tower, I think I might stay. Blob is very, very strong. So that was not my last game for a free retreat. We'll see. We'll see. Shadow King is an interesting kind of tech situation. The extra mana doesn't benefit me, really, particularly with his hand. So I'd rather get bigger with Muir Island. But there's an argument to try and fill up White Hot Room. We'll see. I'm not in a great spot, but my opponent, I guess they should snap if they think that they're in a good spot. And they haven't done that? I don't know. I don't know. That's funny. Well, I'll tell you, I like drawing cards here, and I don't know if I'm going to get a ton of... I mean, I could get Shadow King value, but I really need to be mana efficient here, and I really want to win Asgard. So I'm going to do this. There's a real argument to not doing this, but I'm going to do it. By not doing X, I mean playing Shadow King. There's a real argument to not playing Shadow King now. Another Scream. That's funny. Well, I was going to do this. And probably draw at least in one of these things and have more tools than him. But there's a real argument to getting Scream down. I'm going to do this. And if they do... This really makes me vulnerable to Cannonball and Magneto doing some things. But I like this. They're gonna fill me up anyway. Okay, okay. This line makes my Mockingbird free next turn. I don't know what my opponent is being a jerk or not. We'll see. So we hope that they cannonball something and it goes left. If it goes mid, I'm going to be pretty upset. Shit. Well, I don't know. I'm guessing a Magneto left is a pretty likely thing to happen. If he Magneto's left, does that move anything from here though? It doesn't. I appreciate him. Maybe this is just him kind of giving up, but I don't want to like, so what does he have that, like, Juggernaut, right? I don't like to see, so I'm going to do this. I'm guessing that's Juggernaut, right? Yes! Yes! God, so good. Hey, Elkin, glad to see you. What? You say things like that. How can I not pay you credit? What an incredibly insightful, lovely individual you are. Yeah, that feels good. Feels good. That was a talented opponent, and I played that well. played every single game in that list well, or sorry, that match well. What I should have done was probably not snap as aggressively as I did the game before that one. That was kind of or 2 games before this one. That was probably an unnecessary risk. I get the impression that felt not toxic to me. That were the vibes that I got. That felt somewhat genuous. But it could have been toxic as hell. I don't have a great sense of these things. I don't understand the urge to be rude and mean anonymously on the internet. I don't get it. I think less of everyone that feels this way, and it seemingly is a huge percentage of the population. But I don't have any of that DNA. I don't, like, suppress the urge to do that, and therefore am a good person that way. Like, I just don't even... I don't understand it. And so I often give people the benefit of the doubt, because I just wouldn't clock why anyone would be toxic in certain ways. And I guess, let me walk that back. I can understand kind of being reactively toxic. If somebody does some jackass move or something and kind of starts being toxic, then that kind of percolates in the back of my brain. But kind of doing that, like, I didn't emote that guy. I just was playing the game. And if he emoted out of toxicity, I wouldn't understand why. If they emoted respectfully, as I kind of assumed that they did, that's perfectly lovely and fine. And the fact that he had the Herald of Galactus title means that he's been playing a very long time. I don't know. Did we complete missions? Are we completing Alliance missions? We have completed Alliance missions. Vash, once again, really carrying everyone on his shoulders. Almost 5 times the weekly limit to get max rewards. Good on him. What do we got here? I can't do any of those naturally. So I am not going to pick any of those up. Do we think we're going to get... That's maybe going to be tight. I don't know if we're going to get this. We often don't get the ultimate reward. Not because the top people don't pull their weight. Like, we got a lot of killers here. It's awesome. But we got a lot of people that, like, don't play the game at all. And it's hard to overcome the deficit there. Anyway, let's keeping it going. Or actually, I guess I got 500 gold. Pick up 500 gold. Cool. And keep it going. Hey, FC96. Eating and lurking. Was your cruise gig a positive experience? This is probably a while ago at this point. It kind of isn't a while ago at this point. The thing is, for those of you who do not know, I'm actually going to cancel this and speak for a minute with my apologies for my appreciation for your patience. 11 years ago, I started the first American-based escape room company. And we started from virtually nothing and kind of grew it into something pretty special. And among the things that we did, different locations, online stuff, and portable stuff, we have a partnership with Royal Caribbean Cruise Line. And since 2015, when we launched our first game on Anthem of the Seas, whenever it launched, which I think was maybe April 2015, I'd have to look that up. We have made more and more and more and more and more and more games on Royal Caribbean cruise ships, ranging from just kind of papers in a packet, pop up, due in an hour in a bar somewhere, all the way through some very, very advanced AAA, things cost a fortune, permanent escape room installations on certain ships, and everywhere in the middle. And I spend a lot of my time with the cruise business doing nothing. Like, if we're not in the middle of a project and everything is kind of smooth sailing, as it were. I'm not actively involved in that part of the business. But then whenever there's new things happening, I'm much more involved. And this past year, there's been kind of an above average amount of stuff. I was on the famous World Cruise, both kind of at the very beginning and towards the very end, and a bunch of ships. And to Epsi, to your point, a couple of weeks ago, I forget lost track of time, I was on Icon of the Seas, the latest and greatest ship in the Royal Caribbean fleet. I think it's the largest cruise ship in the world. Yeah, it's the largest cruise ship in the world. sorting out our most latest cruise game, and it's sick as hell. It's in many ways the crown jewel of my professional career. That game, it is probably hundreds of people were involved in its production and design, and it's a Hollywood caliber experience, and it's a super fun game. Not for nothing, we're very proud of it. Anyway, when I go on a cruise ship, I have a lovely time, and things go well for the most part. I have to work, and I can't like fully go cruise mode, but I had a nice time. Thank you for asking. And yes, Double Neg, to your point, I own every single Swingers Club. All right, so my opponent running a quote-unquote normal deck. They are infinite player. We'll see how it goes. They don't play on Blackstone. Oh, that makes sense. It's like, that's a weird first turn play. But, okay, so we got a Demon coming down on Blackstone next turn, almost certainly. I obviously can't beat that. But I have no better play. So we'll play the Hulkbuster to just kind of start juicing that lane up to maybe hopefully be able to contest it. I don't know enough about their deck to say what's going on with the Hood Demon. Hopefully not a Clog situation. This Clog runs these things, and Clog cooks Doom 2099 pretty good. Get Surtur down. I guess the most likely thing to see here from them is I'm going to undo it to turn there. The most likely thing to see is a Green Goblin to come down left. I can't leave here. I don't have a very strong hand, but like I can't just leave to nothing. I bet you, he says out loud, that that actually probably benefits me a little bit more than him. He's going to have some cost reduction, and so having Mobius, Mobius is going to be very strong. The question is, do I play it this turn? I think I kind of do want to play it this turn. When is he... I don't know, man. It's not very mana efficient. And I would love to be able to use Grandmaster creatively with, like, Goliath stuff. But I think I just want to get it down. I think I do this. And I'm going to snap back because I think that the Mobius is going to cook him. This is a questionable snapback. I have no way to deal with the gigantic werewolf, but I'm going to be able to grow Surtur. I'm going to have this extra mana. We'll just see how it goes. Yes, no, oh, sorry, Helkin. Yeah, I wasn't reading chat. That it definitely does. I'm trying to be mana efficient, which is why I did that. The thing is, it would have been lovely to be able to Goliath Grandmaster. That would have required a really specific set of circumstances to happen for that to work and keep priority. I don't think it was possible. What's the most likely thing? Is it picking up Hood? I mean, I'm not cooked. I'm just kind of thinking about what he's likely to do here. I kind of like this. Yeah, that feels good. So that's a little scary. But I have an extra mana, and I'm ahead in all three lanes. So Killmonger is actually not... Well, Killmonger adds 2 power for him here. And removes 2 power from him there. Is it just Darkhawk Mockingbird? So he's picked up Sage. I forget how big his Sage was. What I need to do here, excuse me, is focus on 2 lanes. And what I'm calculating is, can I just abandon Ruins? Does abandoning Ruins win? And I kind of don't think it does, because of he could just play a Sage there, and he's better than me. So I think that I have to do this, and this feels fragile. But I think that this is the play. The only argument here is to put, the hindsight 2020 thing is to put Mockingbird to the left. There's a real argument to doing that, but we're gonna try this. And if I lose, I lose. Like, whatever, it's fine. Is that big enough? That's not big enough, right? Yeah. Let's go! Actually, the other line of play would have worked too. That was a poor stay from my opponent. Victory. I played that super well. Yes, yes. Feels good. Feels smart. Oh, my opponent's staying. I don't like this. Leave. Please leave. I don't want to lose 5, 6 in a row on stream. I'll feel so bad. That said, I have Killmonger, which is broadly a powerful tool against this deck, probably. And Lady Deathstrike is good. However, they can often drop priority in a way that makes Killmonger not very good. So my opponent is snapped, and my hand is kind of turbo doo-doo. So I'm going to retreat. And notably, my opponent... Now, this is toxic. I'm going to mute my opponent. This, my opponent's list, I don't think has any really efficient way to deal with Doom 2099, other than the inherent weakness of Doom 2099 is that it gets pretty friggin' tall in 3 lanes, but that my opponent's list can get crazy tall in 2 lanes, which ultimately beats Doom 2099. Let's see. That's also a doo-doo hand. I'll leave there. This is the virtue of Aurashib and the virtue of just being so far ahead is I really get to kind of cherry pick. There will come a permutation where they snap and they've snapped into the absolute nuts and there's nothing that they can do about it. But so far, these are not stay-worthy situations. Also pretty doo-doo. Alioth is a powerful, powerful card in this matchup. Okay, this is my last, I actually, still a free retreat because of how it's played out. Staying and losing is, make sure I have this right. I'll make sure I have this right before I actually get it backwards wrong. No, I'm leaving. This was like some kind of curve with an upper end. It's just not working out so far. And we were talking about Aurashib earlier, just kind of as a card, as a concept. I think it's underpowered right now. I mean, I'm playing it, and okay, shut up. I mean, there's no more snapping. We're done with snapping in this matchup. Do I want to? I think I probably, because of the nature of my hand. Oh, I can't do it anyway. Often, it's weird. In situations where the second or third location is Collapsed Mine, you want to actually play Mockingbird and then skip the following turn. That's the more efficient thing to do. But I couldn't do that there because it was the first turn. And then, last but not least, with this thought, you can do some really funky things with Legion on Collapsed Mine. That's probably how I'm going to win this game, is a little Legion on Collapsed Mine situation. I don't think ongoing does much. Forgot that Shuri got bigger. That's fun. The thing here is now I might be forced to do Shuri Collapsed Mine this turn. And that doesn't cook him permanently in the way that I would like to, but it might be just really the only thing. Oh wait, no, I can do Shuri Mockingbird here. Of course. Now the question is, do I want to do the Legion play which turns this into a 2-lane game, and like, can he get bigger than 28 in this lane? Or do I want to Mobius and Mobius? I think ultimately I just have to do this. The two real obvious lines here are Mobius in this, and then he can't do any kind of clever cost reduction next turn. Or this, and like, he literally cannot play in Miniaturized Lab, and I have 28 power in the left lane. I think this is cuter and maybe clip-worthy, so I'm going to do this. This ultimately might prove to be my downfall, but we're doing this. And if, like, he played a Jeff in Miniaturized Lab right now, I would lose, but he's not. That's not what his deck does. Get wrecked. So now, that said, the most power I can actually add here is 5, which only goes to quote-unquote 33. And I believe he's got a big Sage, so he might beat me here just on raw points, because I wasn't able to draw anything bigger. But I like how that played out. Now, I have priority. I'm just seeing... So that's an extra 6, an extra 9. Just calculating a Shadow King is ultimately more power. I don't think that it is. Yeah, so we'll do this. We'll do this, and if we lose, we lose. It was a funny clip anyway. So it's going to be something Sage, and yeah, I think I'm cooked here. Oh, Pit Monkey. Sage was... I thought he had more... I thought he had Sage in his hand. Am I wrong about that? Huh. Anyway. Him playing a demon there was questionable. I wonder why he did that. Hand size? I guess he still would have lost if he played the... Yeah, it's fine. I don't hate how I played that at all. And notably, I've got Legion here, and he does... Have I shown the Legion? Yes, I literally showed it last turn. Well, we'll see. I think I drew the Doom, the Dr. Doom. Had I known I was going to draw the Dr. Doom, I probably would have gone the Mobius line, because I would have been able to get reasonably tall in the other lanes. But I'm trying to think if I had that or not. Is this Rocket Raccoon? If it is, he's really good at predicting. No, he's Black. So he does not have Iceman. What do we get? Luna Snow's pretty fun. I think he's likely to try and pick up the Hood this turn, and I can wonder if I can, with like card. We'll see. There's a, and I like kind of popping my own Ice Cube here. So we're gonna do this. We'll see. The trouble here, I really wasn't thinking 3 steps ahead. I was only thinking 2 steps ahead. I want to Legion the negative zone next turn to hopefully trick him into thinking that he does not have a turn 6 or turn 7. But if I play Doom here, which is the optimal play, he's going to see that coming a mile away. So there's a real argument to just doing a little something like this. Well, the draw sucks, and actually makes my Darkhawk much worse. I guess we'll see if he activates his Black Swan. I don't know how that effect works. Oh, well, now turning off... So I don't think that he activated that. Is there a visual indicator that happens? So I'm giving up negative zone. Probably. I hate that he drew cards. So I like this play. The question is, do I Maximus left or do I Maximus right? I think I like this. Good game! Good game. Now, a couple things. First of all, I forgot about the Maximus Darkhawk interaction. I don't play Darkhawk enough to clock that, and so that might have been a misplay to add power that way. I'm looking back, I'm not sure. So that's one. And two, I actually don't hate how my opponent played that. My opponent looks very stupid right now. I've shown Legion a bunch of times. They had a ton of cards in their hand. They could have done any number of things, and they did nothing and lost. However, I'm going to give my opponent more credit here because this is an important axiom to keep in mind. Biggs talks about this sometimes, and it's one of the smartest lessons that is really hard to internalize. When you are facing an Arishem, it's often, if not most of the time, wrong to play around specific cards. Right now, at that last turn, I had 15 cards in my deck. 15 cards in my deck. And despite the fact that my opponent knows that I have Legion, and I tried to cook with it last game, and maybe even before that, they know I have a main deck Legion. It's not highly likely that I had Legion in my hand. And the most obvious thing to do if you're in this situation, facing an opponent, and they have Legion, is like, he's probably going to play it. That would be so good to play it right now. I'm going to play around it. But then you put yourself in a nightmarish position, probably, if you play around a card that I don't do, and suddenly the board is full, and then he would have looked extraordinarily stupid if I didn't have Legion. And mathematically, it would be very unlikely for me to have Legion. The thing is, I did have Legion. I was able to beat him. And I kind of had to tell because he didn't activate his Black Swan the previous turn, and so I knew that not a ton of power was going to be dumped, but I could have been beaten there for sure. That said, my win rate quite good with the gold tickets so far this season. I think this is the third one that I have used, and my second win. Congratulations to all of us on our second Infinity ticket of the season. It is pretty amusing how I have my own brain is weird that like I have no problem racking up the gold tickets, but the moment I use a gold ticket, I begin to get real sweaty about it, and it's stressful. Anyway, this is good. All right, I'm gonna call it there, folks. I really appreciate you guys hanging out. It was really, really cool being with you folks, chatting. Some all familiar faces. Really appreciate. I'm gonna scroll back and call you out specifically because that's how much I appreciate it. In reverse order, Helkin, great to see you. Doubled Egg, I mean, it's sometimes good to see you. It's good to see you. Epsy, great to see you. Hope you had a great eating, whatever you did. Cy Bates, a.k.a. Secret Binks, good to see you. Alloy, great to see you. And, of course, Flugen. I hope you're enjoying your stupid, lovely Florida weather. And Matt, I hope you're having a lovely time with your friends and loved ones in that part of the state. What I'm going to do is send you guys to another Marvel Snap stream. I don't know who that's going to be. Let's see. I'm very bad at this. Not only am bad at this, but I'm also bad at talking, thinking, and doing this at the same time. Is it really nobody streaming Snap? Is Snap just a dead game right now? What is going on? What is going on? Is everyone playing Rivals? Is that what's happening, folks? Is everyone playing Rivals? Yeah, wow, there's nobody streaming Snap right now. We'll give you an Obi Haft. We're gonna do this. We'll start the raid here. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. I hope to see you again soon. And if I don't talk to you, have a great Christmas or whatever else you're celebrating. No, this is so great. I'm afraid that you're done. We're done. You can watch the replay. I killed it, but we're done. Nice timing. See you later. All right, bye, Epsy.
Oh! Jane Fonda forever!
Another happy landing.
Yo! Nate the Great Martin with the raid! Thank you so much, man. Appreciate you. How are you on this fine Sunday? Hopefully you're doing well. I think this is the play, right? Even if he Zola's this is going to be 22 here. We're going to add 10, right? Plus an additional 2 to each one. Yeah, we got this. Welcome in, Raiders! My name is Obi-Haved. I stream Sundays and Fridays primarily. Welcome in. We are doing a giveaway. So, exclamation point deep